Hey, what's going on, everyone? Looking at the Friday LOL slate. 3 a.m. start. We have 3 games. Yesterday fell short, even though we had all winners on Draftkings, as DRX didn't score a ton of fantasy points, even though they went to 3 games. Still just couldn't really get the job done. So looking at tonight, get back on track today. You can hit the like button down below, subscribe if you have not already. Appreciate that. You can follow on Twitter at the DFS Process. And if you did happen to get a day pass yesterday, you will have access for tonight for free. So let's get started here. Appreciate the 100 plus likes you guys have been getting on the videos. Means a lot. Been growing. So let's keep it going. I know LOL season, the spring slate or the spring split ends, I believe, at the end of the month, maybe the beginning of May, and then I think there's a couple weeks off, and then the summer split starts for a couple months. So we'll still have plenty of LOL, even though we might have a couple weeks break coming up. So let's get started here. First, talk about the 3 games. First game up is WE against LNG. Both teams have been struggling here. WE's been struggling recently, but they faced a couple of tough opponents. TES, ES, and IG were their last 3 opponents. All 3 are very good teams. LNG, on the other hand, have lost 4 straight, and they've lost 8, and none of their 4 games went to 3 games. Actually, they lost 5 straight, and they face a couple of good teams, a couple of bad teams. I think they are just cooked. So I like WE to win this first game pretty handedly. Second game, JD Gaming is also probably my favorite stack tonight. DMO has been playing well recently, but they've had a couple of easier matchups against V5 and against RNG. This spot is very tough against JD Gaming. They've been rolling recently, 5 straight wins, and their last 4 they've won in just 8 games and going the minimum. And they faced a couple of tough teams there, IG and ES. So definitely JD Gaming looking like a top stack tonight. And then this last game is very interesting. The most interesting of the 3 games, in my opinion. Could go either way, IG or EDG winning. Both teams are very good. But what I do like to see is that even when these teams loses, most of the time they goes to 3 games. Like EDG, even in a loss against FPX, their players still put up solid fantasy points on the 12th, even in a loss against RNG. They've been going to 3 games, so I think this game is going to be close. I think it's going to go to 3 games, and I do kind of like EDG's pricing a little bit on DraftKings. I think they are interesting because even in some losses, like Hope in a loss against FPX still had 72 fantasy points. They're not going to kill you. They're just really, really good players. If you look at Scout in that loss, he still had 63, so not great, but I still think that their players can still return value. If you look at some other games that they've lost, their players still put up solid points. So I do think EDG's interesting to maybe get 1 or 2 players from. Starting off here at captain, I would say Jumeng is fine if you can get up all the way up to him. A little bit tougher. I'll probably go down maybe to like Loken. I like Yago a lot at 11-4. If you do like IG, you have Puff and Rookie right there. Bishang at 11-1. If you're on the EDG side, like I kind of am a little bit. Hope is very cheap at 11-1. Scout is only 10-2. So that's kind of what I would be going at. Don't think I would go much cheaper than that. If you do want to play another guy, Kanavi, a jungler, normally don't do that, but I think could be worth it at 10-8, given how well he's been playing. Right now I have Yago here at 11-4. Just love the spot. I think they're going to roll this game and should see good production from a mid laner. He's been playing great recently. 3 straight 80-plus points, has 100-plus point upside. Been racking up kills and racking up assists, so definitely think it makes for a nice captain play. At top lane, we have Zoom looking very solid at 6,200. You have the Shy at 6,000. Janu at just 5,600. Those are the 3 that I'm most interested in. On to jungler. Bishang, expensive, but he looks good at 74. You have Kanave at 7,200. I like him a lot from JD Gaming. And then you have GG at 66. He looks pretty good as a cheap play. Right now, Kanave just sticks out. Been playing great recently. and it's just another good spot. Their team has been rolling. I think they'll continue to do that tonight. At mid lane, Teacherama looking pretty solid. You have Scout. It was only 6,800. That's just a great point per dollar play, in my opinion. Get like 1,400, or you get $1,000 savings from Teacherama. You get $600 saving from Rookie. Scout's been rolling recently and just been playing great. Even in some, like I mentioned, some losses, they still produce. RNG, they lost in 3 games. He had 78. RW, they lost in 3 games. He had 83. So most of the time, their players are still returning value, and I think this game is going to be pretty close. Both teams are very good, and both have been playing pretty well recently. ADC-wise, I like Loken and Jumeng has 8,200. Hope also looks pretty good at 74 as a cheap play. Support-wise, LV MAO looks good. LV Mao at 5,600 and 5,000 for Miko. I say it looks like a pretty good cheap play. And then team-wise, JD Gaming, WE, they're the two that I would probably try to get to. If you do like EDG a lot, I think they're in play. EDG or IG are both in play too, depending on which one you think will win. Just based on pricing, kind of like EDG, but they're both pretty close at the team position. So ADC-wise, go with Loken. I think JD Gaming is going to be the top stack on the night for me. On to Fanduel here. At Star, you have Loken, most expensive guy, followed by Puff and Hope. I'd say Loken looks great out of that group. Then Yago also much cheaper at just 9,200. Kanave also you could play 9,000. On FanDuel, WE is very, very cheap, so they are looking like a team to stack. On Draftkings, WE is priced up across the board, so it's a little bit tough to do a full stack of them. But on FanDuel, it's pretty easy to stack WE. But still, at Star, I'll probably go with the same player, mid laner from JDG. Been playing great recently. Expect like maybe another 10 kill, 10 plus assist game, which would be nice on DraftKings. Top lane, Zoom, most expensive, but he looks fine. Morgan is only 8,100 from Wii, and Jinu is 8,200. Jungler, Kanave, 9,000. Expensive, but I think he's worth it. Bishang is just 8,400. He looks good as well, and GG looks good too. Probably go up to Kanave, just been the best recently and has really showed a bunch of upside with his 90-plus point performances. At the jungler position, it's kind of rare to find a guy that's racks up as many kills as Kanave does on a consistent basis. Mid lane, Scout, still like him a lot at his price point. 85 on FanDuel looks good. Teacherama looks good too at 8,300. ADC-wise, Loken, expensive if you can get up there, but Jumeng is probably one of my favorite point per dollar plays on FanDuel. He's just really cheap. WE should win this game, and just really cheap to get an ADC with a pretty heavy favorite to be that cheap. And then mid lane, you could go Scout or Teacherama. I'm just going with Scout on both sides. I think that even if they lose this game, I still see them returning a solid amount of fantasy points. And I think that this game will be close. A lot of IG's games against tough teams have kind of gone to 3 games. And EDG is a very, very good team. So one of you even be shocked if EDG wins this game. And then support-wise, you have Missing is only 7,300. That's an incredible cheap play. Followed by LVMAO is expensive, but those are the two that I like the most. And then Miko right in the middle. And team-wise, WE is probably the best point per dollar team. They're only 7,300. I don't know why they're cheaper than DMO on FanDuel, but they look really nice. And then JD Gaming also looking pretty nice there. So that's what I'm liking on both sites. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Drop a like if you enjoyed, and good luck today.